Hello there, this is Darth Rabbit07 coming to you today with another quick review. We're going to jump in the way back and revisit the year 2009. No pun intended. Transformers Animated was on Cartoon Network, and between 2009 and 2010, it was dwindling down. We were supposed to get like Blackout and a submarine kind of Bumblebee from Animated, but never did. But we did get a Shadow Blade Megatron. And if you've been watching my post on my channel, I did some pictures and stuff of that, and I'm excited to have everything together here for this quick review. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Thanks again for watching. Let's turn this around and take a look back in the way back at this Shadow Blade Megatron. I got him in robot mode, stuck in that pose that I had him in the other day and what have you, and I really do like this figure. They sure don't make them like they used to, because this guy has lights and sounds and some articulation. Not the best articulation in the world, and it'd be nice to get a revisit. I'm just going to go over here and push this button right here on the chest. So you get, where is the Allspark? Crush the Autobots. Maniacal laughing. And that's just about it. If you look really, really close when you do push it, his mouth does kind of move ever so slightly, and that's a little bit annoying doing that. So we're going to go into that articulation, and you can get it so far this way because the light features, and you go over this way so far with it. That mouth does articulate. I guess you can like push down on so you get some articulation there granularly, and really, really awesome. I love the way they did the Decepticon symbol. The arms are going to be hindered by the kibble in the back, but I mean, you can get stuff around, you can manipulate as you see fit. You get out to the side. Actually, that just came undone from the chest, but only about that far. You do got an elbow, or you got ratchets there in the shoulder, which is always nice. I don't want to ever knock them for ever putting a ratchet in. You can get that much due to transformation with the elbow area, that kind of thing. The wrist will rotate all the way around. This even has articulation in it. The sword does, due to the way it transforms and incorporates into the helicopter mode later. You do get some pew pew action. That's a lost art. Always with these older toys, take care not to lose your missiles. This was a little bit misplaced in another place, but I'm very resourceful and I kept up with it all this time. You do get back into that waist articulation. You get some waist articulation due to the kibble on the back and the way this is designed. You have all that there. You can kick up this high with old Megs. You can go back. See, I just launched it off again there. You go back that far with his legs. And you got above the knee swivel there. I don't think you can get much in the waist as long as you, well, yeah, I guess you can. Hang on a second. You can get these skirts up. You can get almost a full Van Dam, but it was very limited. I mean, you can cheat it a little bit more, so that looks painful all the same. Nice ratchets there even. Gosh, it's just a lost art. This needs to be revisited, I swear. And it's carrying all this heavy electronics here in the back, and it's also the screws you'll need to remove to get into the power, fuel, batteries that were originally in it. Now they got some Duracells, because I love that stuff like that. That just makes me happy, guys. Like I said, it's lost art. There's like die cast of this day and era, as they do more with less and less and hollow out more and more. The paint used throughout this is like really, really pretty and awesome. So even the paint is a lost art. And oh, the knees, they'll do almost 90 degrees, but not full 90. And on a ratchet, even still. This one had early ankle rockers due to transformation, and it's got a heel spur and a toe that can be manipulated as you see fit for posing. And that therein is the weakness of this older style and fashion here. Let me pause for a second. You can get a traditional Megatron cannon pose with him. It's just really, really tricky. These are older joints on a heavy, because the batteries and the electronics in it on the back there, but there's a good 360 of Shadow Blade Megatron. The original version is just in Megatron colors, just like the show and animation, and that is the aesthetic about animated I absolutely love. The toys did lean heavy into that, and they got it in there. So I mean, it's not bad from the 2008 to 2010 period there. I'll give it that. It was right apart that this was in the stores, and I actually got this on discount because nobody wanted it. So I got it for like under $30. I don't care about reselling my stuff or whatnot. I'm so glad I hung on to this and every one of these. And my kids absolutely loved it when we had like launching stuff and that kind of thing. It was such a fun time to be a parent and share, my love with my kids growing as they grew up and whatnot. Let's get this guy over into vehicle mode and take a closer look there. Really quick, a look at these leader class figures like this. One more spin around the tail without the armaments on him. They had 3 holes in around all these leader class heads. That's because, like with leader bulkhead, you got the headmaster head, and it will also fit in here. And I thought it would do some more sound effects and what have you. I really would have loved to have seen, what they've done with it and what have you. It doesn't really change any of the lights or sound with it, except the whole thing has some light up with it. I'm trying to get focused in here. It's still the same voice clips. I thought that was an Easter egg that you could do with, both Bulkhead and this guy, that you could actually hear Headmaster's voice come out of this bleeding noggin. And that thing is so big and goofy, but it's very animated true, and I'd love to see this revisited, done way better, and this actually transform into the littler robot that Headmaster ran in. And he was in there, doing the stuff and whatnot. And I would love to have seen a Sentinel Prime get made that was in this size so that you could actually do it, because the one that they made was a deluxe class. All that said and done, now let's get him into his helicopter mode, guys. Transform and rise up. Another cool feature in these guys, especially this and the other Megatron, is that when you do this last transformation step, you do get an actual transformation noise. And as is, you can like push the button and you get helicopter sounds, but you get only 2 retractable landing gear here in the back on the bottom side. So there it is when it's tucked in, and when it's out, no landing gear and visible head syndrome. So I mean, it has its limitations there. And that's for robot mode configuration, and this is for the helicopter. It just kind of sits there floaty and stuff like that. But I think that just sounds really good. I'm gonna try to hold it, and it just makes more helicopter noises and stuff. But let's get this last little piece in here. I might have to do this off camera, but I might be able to do it with it on camera. And it's just got to have this clipped on here, and boom. So it's not perfect, but that gives you the other landing gear, and you did have some like rotating features there. It doesn't work as good on the Shadow Blade one. It doesn't, I guess it does spin kind of, and it's supposed to spin in unison there, but I mean, it's just an older figure, guys. And what a really, really awesome, outstanding looking helicopter that is. I like to keep these blades like toward the front like that, and just kind of pretend to swoosh this thing around the room. And if you do got that missile still and you hadn't lost it after all these years, you do get a action figure that actually gives you some action. And it just misfired. Oh well. Try that one more time. See if I can get this to work. There it goes. I think it'll, yeah. And it launches across the room, and it's so freaking sweet, guys. Love the colors here. Love this helicopter mode. There's not a whole lot more to say. And if you have that front piece and that landing gear, you don't get visible head anymore. You get access to the button on the bottom and the lights that come with that and the sound. Let's get this guy into some final thoughts. Some final thoughts on Shadow Blade Megatron. I am so glad, like I said, I found this on clearance back in the day. I'm so glad to have it all these years later. I tell you guys, some things don't age too well, but this is still a very, very fun figure. Kind of a sore spot that Animated left is we didn't get anything beyond season 3, and it was getting really good and interesting and what have you, and they just kind of up and mixed it. We did not get Constructicon figures. Mixmaster and Scrapper, I do believe, was the ones that they had in the show. We did get a guy named Dirt Boss, but I don't call him a real Constructicon. I'd like to have seen the other ones in that same vein and stuff. Just recently in Transformers United series, we got a repaint of Optimus as a Minosaur, and that I don't recollect. I think it might have been even like one of the BotCon exclusives from back in the day there. But then they took Megatron, recolored it to this black and purple, and I think this thing looks freaking awesome. You can even call him Animated Galvatron for all I care. It just does not have the Galvatron face. And talk about I'd love to have an update of this with better features and that kind of thing. I know we're not going to get lights and sounds ever again because that's just the way it is. But boy, it was nice to go back in the way back and look at this today with you. And I still want animated blackout and that submarine bumblebee. I can't. Those were Japanese releases and didn't ever make it over to the States because everything got canceled. So frustrating because that blackout goes for insane amounts of dollars. I don't look at that submarine bumblebee, but I still want that. That blackout was so cool because you can make things black out, and it was a nod to the Bayverse and that kind of thing. And I thought that was really, really awesome incorporation. We never did get a Transformers animated Omega Supreme. That would have been really flipping sweet too, because all the interactions there. Don't want to spoil it for those who haven't seen animated. Animated was a lot of fun, and this is an excellent figure. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Thanks again for watching, and that's going to wrap up Shadow Blade Megatron. Very swooshable helicopter. I'm actually going to get through with this and edit it and get it posted and go swoop this guy around the house a couple more thousand times. Have a great day out there. Stay safe, everybody. Until all are one.